So, alright. Let's see here. F1. Yep. I got anger for. Yeah. Meow. Cats.
Going to ignore that.
Always cats. Alright. So, go ahead, go to Russia's castle. We received a message from High Commander Riordan. Main forces have safely joined the Larvasan of Vesta Pass and conquered the approaching onslaught. Word is the battle ended without any major casualties, so please be at ease. He's awaiting the left and right wings in Ahasan. That's relief. There was a very strong possibility our alliance would fall apart had they lost the first major battle. Oh, and Lynth, another letter has arrived for you. The envelope leads me to believe it's from the same person as last time. Here you are. Their last letter was a great boon to us. If you don't mind, I'd like to read this next one together. Much like the last time, the letter has true contents make themselves known above a flame. Dear Lillian, if you are reading this letter, then it's safe to assume you are well. You don't know how happy that would make me. I wish I could have explained more in the last letter, but I'm sure you understand that both brevity and speed were imperative to your victory, and I fear that battle is far from over. I must tell you about an enemy you may face in the future. Abba, forgive me. I think my explanation warrants a bit of an explanation itself. It begins after we parted ways in Colon. I had returned to Melina to retrace my memories before searching for Milo. There was nothing left of me, you see, once I'd been forgotten by everyone. And who is this Milo? A friend you met as a coffer chaser? Then I did meet them as well. Ah, that boy who had the energy of the lump of an erg. He was a surprise, that one. So both Malin and Keen were forgotten and didn't realize how complicated all this has gotten till now. Well, go on, read the rest of it. Not long after did a magician show up in town. He was strange, how to put it. It was as though he lacked color, spirit. I first spotted him in the Molina dock, and not just him. What truly made him stand out was who greeted him. You remember Solaire? Yes, the spy at Sponham's court. It was none other than her who greeted this magician. As sick as I am of the court, I couldn't help but notice them. If she was meeting such a drab magician related to the Sponham's court, I put my money on it being Enoch. He really does show up just about everywhere. You continue to read the rest of the letter. I crept closer to eavesdrop, pretending to be a disinterested passerby. I doubt there was any risk of doing so, having been forgotten and all. The magician instructed Solaire to guide him to an inn where there was meant to be no one. Imagine my surprise. It wasn't supposed to be me and Milo who were forgotten, but everything to do with this. It wasn't just supposed to be me and Milo who were forgotten, but everything to do with this as well. And yet this man, despite it being his first visit to Melina, was on the hunt for the White Well Inn. I thought there had to be something worth finding there, so I rushed to the location before they could and searched. Sadly, much as I wished to spot something like what the siblings used in the royal castle, there was no such thing. Everything was extremely, deadly ordinary. All things you would find in a rustic inn, except for one very strange thing. It was a circular device that displayed a red dot. I couldn't tell you how it worked really, but I knew it was working. If I had to guess, it was what Milo used before to find that buoy. A circular device that displays a red dot. Didn't you bring that to me before, Lilith? It was on behalf of a man named Enzo. Couldn't believe there was a device for detecting the god. Alright, let's keep reading. The red dot kept moving until it was at a mountain on the northwest side of the continent. I thought then, well, what if I follow this? What if it leads me to Milo? It's quite a gamble, I know, but I had no other clues to go by. I would assume the mountain was pointing to was Ben Chener. That's even where we met that boy Milo. Makes sense with Milo's like energy, the device being able to detect divinity. It must have been pointing to him. I departed for that mountain right away, knowing well that someone who pursued me was not far behind. But my hunch was right, and the red dot led me to Milo. I found him far along a path while accompanied by a red-robed woman. Relieved as I was to see him, something told me also to be afraid. Before I could approach the two, my pursuer, who turned out to be that magician speaking to Solaire and Melina, had caught up. He attacked me with his magic, and I lost my grip on the device and fell from a nearby cliff. Given that I'm writing you, I'm well, but I would not have been without the aid of people hiding and living underground. Once I recovered and continued to search for Milo, I wish I had better news there, but it seems I'm always one step behind. He was last headed towards Taratha, so naturally I followed that same path. The day I arrived, I witnessed the inauguration of the new king. The person I was on the podium. We received a message from the Vanguard. Caesar was defeated and is returned to the royal castle. He says he's willing to accept any punishment deemed fit. What would you like to do? We need an act of punishment. Simply tell him to wait his next orders. You may leave. Yes, sir. Seemed to want to say something. There wasn't a chance Caesar would see success. Why did you plan this diversionary tactic knowing it would fail? Indeed, I never expected a single game piece to turn the tides. The battle was meant to test to see how one reacts to the refined chemicals. Though there was some adverse effects, I believe we could stand to increase its purity. I advise you not to underestimate Lilith. They aren't one to fall for such shallow plans. You seem to hold them in high esteem. But lest you have forgotten, they are your enemy. I know that very well. I'm just wary. Milo. Alright. The prince, once exiled by the Pontiff's court, now returns as the king of Erend. What a romantic story. It's almost like it's from a fairy tale. Don't you find it odd, though? Find what odd? Consider Lynn's story and what's written in this letter. The Pontiff's court exiled him while he was still a prince, correct? But then they enthroned him, and he claims to be their guardian. What part of that makes any sense? Imagine he made a deal of some sort with Maka. Perhaps he swore to align himself with the court in exchange for reclaiming the throne. The court would have been looking for a new authority figure after the Pontiff's death. So, were he to agree, it would be a win for both parties. I thought you said he was king. Said the king was acquaintance of Lilith. Hard to believe he would stand against a friend so easily. They do say you never have a true ally or enemy in politics. Then again, betraying Lilith takes real gall. Remember that, child. He looked like he had just about no life left in him, and he has ties to Cromkrich, as I recall. Maybe. How? As his vessel? Maybe? I hope I'm wrong about that. Probably. What are you talking about? Cromkrich is the god of death, the hills, and the crescent moon whom the druids serve. He's a god? Then the power I felt from that boy was... It was probably the divine power of Cromkrich. But wait, do you mean to suggest we'll be going head to head against two divine enemies at once? I doubt that. Having divinity and utilizing are two separate matters. Though I will say that even a dying god is likely beyond any ordinary human's capacity. Well, Morgan Sistral came down to this world just fine with their human vessels. Even you are a god in human skin. It's not the same. Morgan Sistral had fully descended. They weren't mere humans with the power of gods. They were gods. Sistral, unstable as he was still all God. But me, I gave up my divinity entirely upon becoming human. I don't believe either case is for that child. He remains human while clutching to the divine power overflowing from within. If he keeps this up, it could make him unstable in both body and mind, or worse, it could destroy him. How so? He'll go insane or suffer necrosis. Could he go into a coma? Who's to say? It could destroy him in myriad ways. So it wouldn't surprise me if it did. Why do you ask? Nothing, I was just curious. I do have a hypothesis, though. I admit to it forming from nothing more than a hunch. Most tend to lose their bearings simply by coming into contact with an erg, so I can see as much happening with a divinity. Whether you can call making such a contact a blessing or a curse, I don't know, but it may be why he's working with Maka. So, what do you plan on doing next? Oh, you're interested? This concerns me as well, so I think it natural for me to want to know. I'm planning to gather our soldiers and rebuild our strength from the ground up. No longer in the testing phase. They ought to be able to perform at their peak. Gather our soldiers means crumbling our front line. Do you really expect Lynn to sit back and do nothing? We have other methods at our disposal to buy us time. I could very well ask an old friend of mine for help, should we need it. Don't fret, it isn't your time to shine just yet. I believe my controlling magic will work wonders for the time being. Now, if you'll excuse me. Milo, are you sure you won't regret it if you end up fighting Lilith. I won't. Okay. Get to the Royal Army base. Oops. Get around it. Get around it. Get around there. Royal Army base. Okay. You say a messenger from the High Commander arrived? That's right. According to the message, the King's army near Vestus Pass is retreating. He finds it suspicious that throughout the battle since our last major clash, they've yet to claim a definitive victory. Morale is still high, though, so he's using what limited time we have left to continue advancing north. I agree that it's suspicious. Our enemies are retreating without an apparent cause, and we don't know them to be fools. Exactly. The commander is observing them closely to see if they mean to lure us in. He wants allied forces in advance and prevent any preemptive strikes that might come from our blind sides. I have no objections. In fact, we've been rearing to go for a while. When should we head out? I marked the path on this map here. The commander said he'd deploy a messenger along the way to keep in contact. Alright, Lilith, let's make preparations for our departure. Lilith? Yeah, what's the rush? It's Sierra. She's awake. Sierra? Ah, the red-headed woman. Yeah, yes, that's good news. We can discuss the details later. Let's go see her first. Okay. Meanwhile, the Black Citadel. Nile. What is it? Naveen is looking for you. Even though I'm on probation? Apparently. Very well. I'll be going then. There you are. Now, sword of the Brotherhood. Hello, Prophet. Now at your command. Have you had enough time to reflect on your folly? Yes, I am ready to receive my due punishment. Sin bears weight, for you met one who knows our secrets and foolishly let them leave after my name was uttered. We have no need for a soft heart in the Brotherhood. Next, you're going to tell me all about the false prophecy or the Fomorian edicts. The only people that I know about these things are members of the Silent Brotherhood. What are you after? Speaker, you will not leave this room alive. You met Naveen. There's no way to prove or disprove what you're saying. Those sins are wholly mine to shoulder. The only way to pay for your disservice is with your life. Then please take it. I won't. Your willingness was all I wished to prove. There isn't a need to spill blood upon the altar when you can clear your name through other means. You would give me another chance? Time you clean up the mess you made. We have found the location of those you set free. Where are they? In Russia. Perhaps you are a little behind on current events due to your probation, but Russia stood against the court. They wouldn't. Oh, but they would, and did. A mercenary is at the heart of their rebellion. We would normally not be so concerned with who or what stands against the Pontiff's court. Our loyalty is to the goddess and the goddess alone. But we cannot ignore this. The death of the Pontiff during the war against the Foamers. The Pontiff is... I see you appreciate how great a change this is to the world. The reformers of the court whom the Pontiff once smothered have now become quite the force. I would venture to say that they're like an entirely new entity with their Reformation bill, a better one. That the goddess has come down to bless them is proof enough. Goddess herself? Indeed, something we have wished for a very long time has at last come to pass. Oh goddess, I thank you, your blessing us with your presence. The wait was far too long. Ah, but it's too early to celebrate. Rochus defies not only the Pontiff's court, but she as well. They dared defy the goddess? They did. They were all too eager to call her false. We must not pardon such sacrilege. Their military campaign is a disgrace to the goddess and only invites more chaos to the world. We are in a new era. Now is the time for us to wake from our slumber and follow a new destiny. We must protect the goddess from those who would curse her name. You will have able men in command, of course, so do take care of that mercenary. The one called Lillian. Very well. I shall inform you when you're due to enter battle. Until then, wait for your next order. Oh. So far, one dungeon in an hour. Departure of the right W. Talk to the awakened Sierra in Roche's castle. But somehow we end up down here. Yeah, we were at the... What the heck? Alright, whatever. Alright, inside the room, Sierra sitting up in her bed. Lillian, Ren, Mirror, where am I? Remember an underground village. You were unconscious for a while, so... Are you hurt? No, I don't feel all that injured at any rate. We're in Roche's castle. Really? How on earth did I end up here? He helps Sierra from falling as she tries to get up. Thank you. What's this? This thing on the back of my hand. Is there some kind of mark? Sierra, the enemy has exposed you to a curse. A curse? On me? Yes, that's why you were unconscious for so long. The mark is working to abate the curse. I understand now. Thank you. Everyone was worried about you, Merrick especially. Well, where's Merrick then? He's on the front lines. He's what? Ah, of course. Where's Fomer still? I fear this is a different war. This explanation could take a while, but please, listen closely. Bryn shares what has happened while Sierra's unconscious. He only admits her being controlled by Maka and Auden's passing. Peace of the Foamers, a war against the Pontiff's court. I can hardly believe my ears. Your uncertainty is understandable. It's a lot to take at once. You woke up at a good time, though. We're about to head to the front line. Just here to join us? It's sensible to bring someone who's only just awakened. I won't deny it being rash, but we're the only ones who can deal with a curse in the event the enemy works its magic again. I appreciate your kindness, Oracle, but I am well enough. It's all very sudden, but yes, I'm a Crimson Blade. I don't intend... Hey, 3H, what's up? Yeah, we're doing well. Doing good. So, just started Season 4 here, so I'm an hour into Season 4. One battle. All the rest has just been... all the rest has just been reading. Don't tend to mope in bed while my comrades risk their lives. Excellent. Just in interest of caution, I'd like to see our doctor and get a checkup before we leave. Jen, if you wouldn't mind. No, not at all. Let's go. She's going to escort Sarah outside the room. Do you really mean to bring Sarah? We cannot afford to leave her behind where she's alone. Better to keep her where we can see her. You have a point. But why did you tell her she's cursed when she's being affected by controlling magic? And the point of that would be she was forced to act against her will. Imagine her discomfort were she to know that what she did. I don't see anything but pain come from making her aware. That, and we mustn't hold her responsible for her actions. You're right. Can you tell me more about the mark on her head? I was inspired by some data on controlling magic I discovered in research after visiting the underground lab. Are you working on a spell that prevents controlling magic altogether then? Not quite. I don't specialize in controlling magic. My expertise lies in herbs and summoning, so I have plenty of research ahead of me. Then what is it not if not a spell? I'm not sure what you call it yet, so I won't bother explaining it. All I can really say is it's something that should help. Well, we can always use more of that. Just sick of all these damn impossible situations getting thrown at us. Oh? Never mind, a magician can't afford to lose their cool at a time like this. Just take it as I said, something that will help. Now, we've both got plenty of work ahead of us. Let's finish getting ready for departure while Sierra packs her things. Alright. Alright, Rochester Castle. You ready, Lance? God. We're all set. Let's get going. Thank goodness there's no pre-war ceremony to deal with. I'm not the biggest fan of those, if I'm being honest. Neither am I. They're annoying. Well, it's not just me. Great minds think alike, eh? Oh, that's a shame. Here I am, speech in hand, ready to inspire. Please. No. Ah, only joking. No, my audience, as it were, holding a ceremony would only end in disaster. Oops, I seem to have dropped something. Bracken sweeps speech on the ground with his broom. Don't worry about the rear. I'll head north as soon as Benasic joins. Until meet again in Trotha, Brackus. Things won't be easy on the army, or do take care. Alright, our first rendezvous, Mount Celsina. Long story here. Almost where that messenger should be waiting. Priest, keep you. Ooh. Yeah, how are you holding up? I'm fine, just a little out of breath. How about you, Sarah? Are you alright? Better than before, actually. Thanks for asking. According to the map, we'll need to go in deeper. And there he is, dead. There's someone on the ground over there. Who else would be out here other than the messenger? We'd best take a look. That uniform. Soldier of Rochester Alliance. Look at those cuts. Someone did that to him. Not a sign of resistance from him either. He was killed before he even knew what hit him. On your guard, everyone. The enemy could still be near. I'm going to inspect the body. First thing Brain notices a piece of paper next to the fallen soldier. What's on it? Commander's orders, perchance? Exactly that. Only someone scribbled over them. Is this? Lilith, we have a message from an old friend. See here? How time has flied since our last encounter, mercenary. I hope you haven't forgotten me. It's a shame that the High Commander's order won't reach you. But never fear, I have something in their place. Come to the place marked on the map, or those around you won't live to see another sunrise. You know me well enough to understand this is no jest. Don't run away, lest the consequence be more dire than anything from your wildest imagination. No. Map drawn on the back. Now is the man from Silent Brotherhood we met before. Yes, I can't tell you why he's like this, but he clearly means us harm. He did tell us he'd keep an eye on us since we're aware of their secrets. That he did. They've been oddly quiet, but that he's shown himself just as we've taken action can't be a mere coincidence. Can't help but wonder if there's something else pulling the strings. Well, either way, what should we do? Exactly as he says? As far as I'm aware, Niall isn't one to give up once he sets his sights on you. He means to make good on his threat. For our soldiers to be dragged in this could lead to innumerable casualties. The only thing we can do is to meet him. The High Commander's waiting for support. What to do? Well, Niall is only asked for you, Lieutenant, but since I know him well, I can accompany you. That should work, yes. Should I come along in case there's a fight? No, you're better off leading the allied forces. The commander could use your help. That we need someone who can look after Sienna and Sierra. Understood. I swear they'll be safe in my hands. That settles it. Let's not waste any more time. Lieutenant, you need to go hear what Niall has to say. All right. Well, maybe another battle finally. Moving to town. Thought we left town. Complete battle of Clan of Darkness. This battle is recommended for parties. Okay, so we get Clan of Darkness party. Okay. Clan of Darkness. One to 4 players. Okay. Oops. Great party. Clan of Darkness. There we go. Go here.
Do you feel more at ease since listening to the lute?
Very. Slept like a log, and my head's clear.
Wow, that was quick. All right. Come on. All right. But he's ready. Let's get this party started.
That was your last chance. Understand?
Human.
If y'all hear somebody in the background, it's my grandson over here playing on another computer, playing another game. Now, he may not be popping up on the audio, but just in case you do hear him. Oh, I remember seeing somebody doing this in here the other day. I think I saw Cheesy and Kazukai doing this in here. Oh! I missed the oh! There's one way to do it. Ooh, dark. Ouch. heck here? Where the hell are you going? Where the heck is it? Hey, I made it without dying.
Excellent work.
Fun, fun, fun. I got to let loose for a change.
Hey, I only did 4% damage. But I didn't die that time. Oh no. You're quite strong. I find it difficult to believe we're fighting a human. Just what are you, really? Sheath your blade now. We have no more reason to fight. So surprised you would say such a thing, knowing who I am and the Brotherhood, what the Brotherhood is capable of. So the clan's orders are absolute? They are. Spout your nonsense all you like. Even if I weren't under orders, I would still see to your death for defying Goddess Morgan. We never defied her. I heard the story from the prophet. The goddess blessed upon its court, yet you choose to wage war against them and their palace. You unbelievers have the audacity to claim her to be false. Tell me how you haven't defied her. We only meant that the goddess who blessed the kingdom was false. Then you made a false accusation when the prophet accepted her. It is no less shameless. For that I cannot let you live. Even if I said the prophet is lying to you? An impossible claim when she has served when her will is the heart of the Brotherhood. So her will is the will of all of you as a whole, is it? Is it such an impossible claim for us to make when the prophet has been trying to brew strife among you members? What strife? Didn't you know Linth here is part of the Silent Brotherhood too? Oh, don't make me laugh. I am their sword. There isn't a single member I do not know. I advise you to stop with the lies. They do nothing in aiding your escape. Your head is too bloody full of nonsense to listen to anything I say. Well, if you won't listen, you'll just have to show him. Go on, Lance. Show him the other side of you. Still holding your bluff. What's the meaning of this? How do you possess that kind of power? Do you trust me now? You still think I was lying to you? Just where did you get that bracelet? What bracelet? You mean this ring? So you know it to be a ring. I will say this, the research you put into your trickery is impressive. The trickery is only that. This is no trick now. I'll ask you, where did you get that? Is it so difficult to simply believe us? All you're doing here is denying a plain truth that is right before your eyes. The point here is asking about where Lilith got the ring when you know very well how. That ring chose the destined one. If Lilith has it, then there is little more to piece together. Has it dawned on you yet that we're bound by the same destiny, or will you continue to doubt this ring? Sure, you're wondering how I could possibly know all this. Well, here's the surprise. I heard it from you. Utter nonsense. I've never revealed as much to anyone. Aaron descended, and people forgot their past due to Goddess Morrigan's sill. They also forgot about Lilith receiving the ring and being awakened. I know nothing of this sill. Even if what you say is true, how do you explain how you two retain your memories? How do you avoid the sill's influence? Because we met Morrigan. What? Lilith met Morrigan and was asked to seal Aaron. Seal Aaron instead of bringing about the advent? Yes. The goddess herself has blessed the court with a new era. But here you stand telling me that she wishes our long-awaited paradise to be sealed away? How ridiculous. The argument falls apart when you see the goddess you know as an impostor. The one who sides with the pontiff's court isn't Morrigan, but Maka under Morgan's stolen divinity. Think paradise is meant to be a utopia where there's no sadness, no pain, and no hunger. If this paradise is really all we've been waiting for, then why are we still fighting? Because it's a false hope. Knowing this, will you still blindly follow a prophet and believe the goddess of the court is Morgan? Then what do I do? Believe you instead? Stop making it a matter of believing or not. Make your own judgment. Right now, all you're doing is making the same mistake that the court made. You aren't listening to the goddess, only listen to the one who stands between you and her. But who do you serve, the prophet or Morgan? You've already seen by Lillian's identity that there's more to all this than what you know. Including, explain what you learned about the Silent Knights from Gertrude. The Foamers have a brotherhood like ours, and Naveen is also its prophet? It's unbelievable, though it's true that Naveen is half human, half Foamer. A prophet. Yes, I need to see another prophet. There's a second prophet. There's someone who is a candidate to be one, but was proven unworthy. I intend to seek her for more answers. Until then, consider your execution stayed. I don't know who that is, but she'll tell you exactly what we've told you. Don't test my patience when I've already agreed to stand down for today, Bren. Should your claims prove to be rooted in deceit, then I will use everything in my power to see you are dead. And should they prove otherwise? He left. Never expected a reunion to turn out to be like this. Ask how Bren is doing. Don't you worry about that. As I said before, we have our own interests that we're trying to make most of. That is it. That's all. Anyway, seeing as we won't know how our allies are doing until we meet them, we'll need to pick up the pace and catch up. Well, Meb, welcome, Sword of the Brotherhood. Did you know I was coming? I did. I saw you visit me in a dream. Are you still able to dream even after so much time has passed since you lost your qualifications as a prophet? Not every part of my power was meant solely for the Brotherhood. There are times when I'm relieved things turned out the way they did. I couldn't be your prophet because I had no Fomorian blood in me. And yet that is also what allows me to speak to you like this. You must know why I'm here. You ask about the Brotherhood's secrets, Yes. Now, have you ever questioned why the prophet had to be half human, half Fomor? No, I accept it as part of the Brotherhood's will. The answer lies far into the Brotherhood's history. Another question, why do you believe it's destiny? Check the Oracle until the Advent. Correct, or so everyone has been told. What do you mean? That it isn't true? That destiny is but insurance. The primary one is to stop the advent of paradise. Stop it. We are not supposed to wait for the Oracle's awakening and the coming of Aaron. If Aaron were truly paradise, there would be no reason to wait for the advent. Sadly, paradise is not what awaits us. Upon Aaron's descent, the eternal war of the gods shall continue, and the disaster of Awaka, Balor, and will wreak havoc among us once more. Who is Balor? He is the god of destruction who seeks to end this world, and he is plenty capable of doing so. Goddess Morgan is so desperate to stop him that even while she sleeps, she's prepared for some people to do just that. Silent Brotherhood? Precisely. Protecting the Oracle is your second destiny in the event we fail to stop Aaron's advent. She is to be a proper vessel for Morgan so she may take over in our world. The trigger for Aaron's descent is the revival of the evil dragon Elchilus. But the goddess cannot stop Elchilus on her own, so she had to join forces with another who shares her outlook, and that is Sigil, the Fomorian god. A group that calls itself the Silent Knights, similar in nature to the Brotherhood, receives Sigil. The two groups share a common goal, so in a sense they are one. Yet they serve different gods. Yet that they serve different gods cannot be ignored. In order to prevent conflict, their leader had to be someone with symbolic significance on both sides. And that's why the prophet must be both human and Fomorian blood. Yes, the destiny and the code of the Brotherhood has been passed down for many ages, but as of late they have become twisted. What makes you say that? The goddess of chaos and war is meddling with the destiny. I'm sure that the recent order my sister gave is the result of another goddess's work, and that goddess is the one who blessed the current pontiff's court? More than likely. The prophet approved of the goddess. Does that make her a traitor? I wouldn't be so quick as labor as traitor. No, she lost her will and is now under another's influence. Would that influence be controlling magic? Yes, it is so. How can this be? We serve Goddess Morgan, but we've been manipulated by a false goddess all this time. It isn't your fault. We cannot deny that the fervor to raise is what has kept the Brotherhood going as it has. You know the truth. You knew the truth all this time. Why did you hide it? Because I am not the prophet. I have no authority over the Brotherhood. All you have done is follow orders in unison. Still, I waited and waited for someone to realize the truth. I knew that day would come. You foresaw it. Not foresaw it, simply believed it. Believed in a new age and believed it would not remain silent. Believed I would not remain silent upon its arrival. Then, what should I do now? As one of the Brotherhood, as a guardian of the goddess, I gave her my all. I lived for her. Now you stand here and tell me that I did so under a lie? A prophecy cannot change your will, but it can change the choices you make. I sincerely pray your choice is the right one. Looking forward to the reward box. All right. Okay. Head to Rosha's castle. Of course. More talk to do. Talking to me. Awesome. Alright. Alright, soon after leaving the Black Citadel, the Silent Brotherhood has ceased their attacks. I think they're going to let us go. From what I understand, now met another prophet, and their talk seems to have worked in our favor. I pray this means the misunderstandings between us have been put to rest. As one of the 8 swords, Nile would have been an invaluable ally in the mission to overthrow Makkah. I agree with Bryn. Well, I'm sure they'll send word soon enough. Let's hurry and rejoin the group. The two of you begin to quicken your pace. Shuffle, shuffle. Shadow trails behind the two people. Tacit Conqueror. Why has Nile let them go? Left them unscathed. Aren't they dissenters of the goddess Morgan? Cannot abide this. With their quiet rage and footsteps, the shadowy figure silently trails behind. Yay! Oh, you know what I just realized? Oh, somewhere on the other side. Okay, I forgot here. Fire. Where's my fire bot? Fire bot. There we go. Fire bot ain't running. Just realized it ain't running. Right, well, it's not connected to stream elements. Maybe my stream elements ain't connected. And my stream elements. Forgot to take log. Forgot my Firebot. Okay, all right, right. Logged in. Okay, that's good. That's good. And still, it's not connecting to for whatever reason. Firebot's not connecting to stream element. Oh well, no worries. Well, okay. But everything else is working there. All right. All right, what we got going on here? Somewhere on the other side. Is it? It's ready, Balor. Everyone is waiting for you. Impeccable works, Elrond. You flatter me. Please allow me to escort you. Quite a few faces I've not seen in some time. Well, let's begin with the status reports. You go first, Brez. Of course, Brez, the Blood Mistress, reporting. Not only have my powers been fully restored to what they were before they were sealed, the vampires are under command and have broken free of the seal as well. All of them? Already? Blood Legion is sleepless by nature. Eternal slumber is but a trifle compared to the passing years of perpetual immortality. Just give the order, Bella. I will wreak savage vengeance upon paradise. Ah, how delightful. If only a route of attack were open at this very moment. I eagerly await your bloody performance, Brad. I won't let you down, sir. Next up, Selren, you're reporting. Selren, the Phantasmal Sword, reporting. I regret to say my powers are only halfway restored, perhaps related to the wounds sustained when meeting Nawada's agent. And only around 30% of the Blade Legion under my command have awakened. There isn't any cause for concern, however. I'm confident I'll see full restoration before an attack route is open. I see. I would suggest you refrain from acting on your own until then. By your will. Now we move on to strength. Thank you, mighty Valor. Strength, the advisory of all, salutes you. Both my legion and I have restored 80% of our powers. We are ready to charge upon paradise at a moment's notice. Enthusiasm please me. I expect great things from you. Lassie, Delcia, speak. Delcia, just what do you think you're doing? Valor has told you to speak. I have nothing special to report. Oh, again with the theatrics. Why do you insist on communicate with your psychokinesis? What good does that mouth if you refuse to use it? Just ever the insufferable wench. That will do, Selren. I'll hear the report on the Demon's Legion in private. There's still something we must discuss, though, Telsia. Sword that wounded me. If it's as you say, there's no doubt that Clem Silos, the sword unleashed by Brigid. So it is. Claim Silos, the sword I know at very sword that sealed our fate within this place. The sword wielded by Noah's age was Clem Silos. That wretched thing was left in paradise. Isn't someone around capable of harming Balor a little Isn't something around capable of harming Balor a little dangerous? Not a little, very dangerous. If it were ever to use it to reactivate the seal, if reactivated, eternal slumber will find us once more, and again vengeance will slip from our grasp. And what about you? Rarely do I see all of you gathered in one place. So you're awake, Laura, goddess of rapture? Indeed I am. Our reunion was well overdue. It's been far too long. Ooh, the goddess of rapture. Pleasure to greet you, Laura. Yes, it's an honor. If I may. Yeah, I apologize for interrupting, but I must admit that the prospect of taking revenge on the goddess of paradise is of great interest to me. If I may go over the story thus far. Nora, the goddess of paradise sealed our fates in this place for far too long. Wada used a sword, claimed Silas to force us within our prisons. We failed to resist the seal, but we attempted a final act of defiance before it was complete. Our attempt was successful, and Wada exhausted all of his power as a result. With his strength gone, not even Wada could escape the seal. And sealed together with Wada, we slumbered. Now an eternity has passed. The seal of gods of paradise worked so very hard to maintain has been broken. Little by little, we've been roused from our dreams. Still, as we awaken, so does Nuada. Anticipating the seal would be broken, he planted an agent in paradise. He orchestrated fate so that the agent would obtain claim Solus, the binder of the seal, and that is where we currently stand. Have I missed anything? Nothing. It is as you've described. Then why are we leaving Nuada's agent untouched? Should that not be stopped right away? That would be because an attack route hasn't opened. I thought Selrun met with this agent. She used the power of nightmares to invade her dreams. She did not personally cross over into paradise. I see. Then we continue to be in a precarious state. Nuada's powers will have been restored just as much as ours have. No doubt his agent will find out about the first seal, other than waiting for an attack route to open. It appears that there is no other way. There's still a way. Telicia? A way to interfere with the agent of Nuada, that is. I have an idea. Has she devised a plan? I'd expect nothing less. Now the sort the agent Nuada. Alright, watershed. Oh boy. Alright. More story. Okay. Alright. Alright. Hold on just a second here. I need to check something here. Alright. Okay. Something from work. Somebody from work. Complaining about some emails. Yeah, I'm ignoring those emails right now. Watershed of Mount Silsina. The right place where the right-hand forces are gathered. Lilith, Brandon. Lilith. Welcome, Lilith. What the devil is everyone doing here? I thought you headed to Vesta Pass to join up with the main forces. Well, there was another messenger. From who? The High Commander? Right, our right-hand forces will be joining at Lateton Bridge, not Vesta Pass. Sounds like the main forces have already left Alhassend. What do you mean by that? Allow me to explain. Senna relays the messenger's news. The right-hand forces. The main forces will be heading north towards Lateton Bridge to pursue the retreating enemy troops. The strategy and intentions are still unknown, but we're determined there's no way to follow their movements without moving the front lines. A separate unit from the Alhassend force will be formed to guard the main force against possible bait-and-switch tactics. I intend to take every precaution, so don't worry. I'd like to give you a mission in light of the changes, however. Truth is, the Carmine army has been delayed. They haven't joined up the main forces just yet. The original plan was for us all to meet at one at Vesta Pass. The front line will have been moved from London Bridge by the time the Carmine army gets there. I want the right-hand force to join up with the Carmine army. Then travel together along the upper reaches of Ignat River and attack from the side of Lead Bridge. Word has already been sent to Carmine army about this change. Stand by at the Mount Shed and wait for their arrival. I suppose in terms they could afford to wait. It seems so. Things are changing too abruptly in the front. We best join up with the main forces as quickly as possible. Agreed. How do we make contact with Carmine troops will be the key. So here's the meeting place of Mount Cessna Watershed. Yes, the Lord Command should be arriving any moment. Parties confirmed the signal fire is lit by Carmine force. We signal each other to confirm our location, and now they're on their way here. They should reach us before nightfall. Excellent work and take care of all this. Well, since we don't have long to wait for the arrival, I think we should use the time left to inspect our surroundings. Keep communication with Carmine forces while Lynth and I check out the way to the Laterton Bridge. Got it. Take care of yourselves out there. Keep a watchful eye out, both of you. Thank you. Let's go, Lynth. Place overlooking the right-hand forces. Then slip in the grass. They make contact with the other army, but then it's not too late for me to. Scotty Figure has been following the two quite expertly, draws their weapons. Losing the battle. What? What on earth? Now panic, the figure appears this way or nothing. The powers won't be anywhere near enough. Who are you? What are you calling me out for? Calling me out for me from? What do you want? Annihilation 1 2 directed? If you like, I can lend you my power. You mean give me the power to punish them? A disembodied soul speaks. To them hearing it is nothing less than mine. It's power you want? I want it. If you can make them pay for defying the goddess, then yes, whatever this power is, I shall take it. That's a good answer. I shall give you the chance to awaken the power of Regnahim. What is this? Did you feel that, Lynn? Something like just now rose from atop that hill. I sense something terrible is afoot, and whatever it is, I'm certain we've encountered it before. Could it be Enoch? No, that's something much more powerful. George Bryan Disrespectful. Absolutely, let's hurry along. Okay. We're going to finally get another battle here. Maybe? Well, I ran to an unfamiliar location. In the depths of the mountain connected to a place like this, thought I'd become accustomed to grand magic of this sort since Fort Aiden, but this world of surprises in store. Ah, it's no time to be astonished. Someone's up ahead. I sense a force that is not to be taken lightly to, so be careful. Alright, so we got the story watershed. Now we get another. Spearhead of Paradise Lost. Recommended for parties. Any parties? Nope. Okay, we'll create a party. Okay. Logic Salt is right there.
You know, it's pretty neat to watch you zip around the battlefield with your magic.
It's very modest compared to your abilities, though.
Can't argue with you there.
Whee. All right, one more. Rosarita. Got a bunch of mail stacking up too. And there we go. We got our 4. Poor little me. Everybody 115. I'm 106. They carry me along. They do 95% of the damage. I do the rest.
Thanks.
Oh, I need to do repair my tools here. First time I get a chance. Hey, you got me right off the bat. They just threw me away like a little rag doll. Helmet broke. Oops, wrong key. Oh.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ. I'm not dodging enough. There we go. I only died twice.
Well done.
You've been working so hard. Thanks.
Yes, I did 2.62% of the damage this time. Okay. You put a stop to the threatening madness. Tax may have broken it down, Lilith, but you mustn't let your guard down yet. I can still sense the force behind controlling it. Where I've felt this before. I thought so. It's just like that succubus cell run. Awaka? There's no question about it. Now, Awaka has put a new plan into action. Smarter than you look. Finally, tell me, who are you? Greetings. I am Tasha, the Tacit Witch. I serve Valor. And this is psychokinesis. I see, so you communicate directly with your thoughts. How laughable. First an invitation to a dream, then another one to play with a puppet. Now a so-called witch who speaks her mind quite literally. Has Valor gathered an army or a circus? You must be that foul-mouthed magician I've heard so much sell around. I was unaware you could speak through puppets as well. Puppet, you may well wound me with such a label. Machines are perfect beings, unencumbered by imperfect souls. Take that human from before as an example. They were stupid creatures who unleashed Ragnarham by their own hand, yet only to be slaughtered by it. Humans claim to be knights of gods, and yet they are swept in the rhetoric of those who are lesser. They are controlled by their emotions, controlled by their irrational dogma, and by their incomplete gods. Humans may be alive, but they are more puppet than I will ever be. There's something I don't understand about this. How did you get a member of the Silent Brotherhood to cooperate with you? Well, it seemed like that one really had it out for you, and all I had to do was suggest that I had the power to punish you. That's all. And they were even easier to control than Ragnarham. You used them and betrayed them. Betrayal always happens when two parties are equals. What you saw was only the demise of an incomplete husk called a human. Let me ask you something else. Was this machine your controlling creature to invade paradise? Indeed, this mechanical weapon was created to be used in the fall of paradise. Witness Ragnarham, the spearhead of the Paradise Lost. Then what is this facility? This is where Ragnarham was hidden during the war. I couldn't leave a weapon of war out in the open now, could I? So it's a hideout used back during the War of the Gods. How unfortunate for you that you intended to use that machine against Lilith when it's already broken down. Seem to be misunderstanding something. Look around, magician. What do you see? Remnants of Ragnarham? No. Now you understand. There is more than one Ragnarham. There is, in fact, an army of them. The one you felled was but one of many. Perhaps one might have trouble against Swada's agent, but it's more than strong enough to bring down the average soldier. What do you mean by that? Ah, so you didn't know that then you'd best return. For every second you're here, that army you've been waiting for edges closer to annihilation. You mean we shall end things here? The blathering on is ever so exhausting. Wait. Damn it, all the power's gone. We must return at once, Lilith. If it's as that woman said, then the Carmine forces are in danger. Okay. Vindictus Castle. Yeah, man. As always, up to the castle. Even though we're nowhere near the castle. Okay. At the watershed of Mount Celsina. Hey, friend, something awful's happened. As the Carmine army under attack, so you knew. Not long after you went patrolling, there was force signaling request aid. Mary and Sarah saw the signal, and don't tell me with aid of the Carmine troops. Afraid they did. They went right away with some of the right-hand forces. Must be that ridge over there. You can still see the smoke rising. Length. Nod to Bryn in acknowledgement. We'll go and search them. Sienna, please stand by with the rest of the soldiers. Watch your surroundings clearly and retreat the moment you sense danger. Do not act the hero. Am I clear? Alright, you head out, leaving the village Sienna behind. You can Bryn rush where you see smoke rising and run in Mirror's party. Bryn, over here, Mirror, it's ready to see you both safe, and it's ready to see you came. Scattered among the forces are unfamiliar soldiers, the majority of them wounded and propped up by the right-hand troops. And they are the Carmine forces of survivors at any rate. This is all the stuff? Just what happened to the rest of them? Mirror shakes his head. Ah, what the hell happened out here? Out with it. Bring the cost of soldiers who seems very in bed than others with question upon question. Don't be cruel. I need to know what happened. Whatever it was, I fear I'm at a loss. We were all moving along the ridge, and then there was a sudden loud noise. This unusual machine appeared before us. This machine looked like a golem. What? Well, yes it did. And what did it do? The machine, it began to slaughter everyone in sight. We tried to fight against it, but with the way we were armed, we were sorry match against it. And what of Lord Carmine? Brent enough. He fought valiantly against the machines until, overcome by the gruesome memory, the soldier begins to retch. Forgive me, it's just thought of his final moments. It was all awash in blood. The bodies of my comrades, the trees, the nearby landscape, everything red. All we could do was run. Soldiers barely able to finish the count, trembles like a leaf in the wind. I understand, I will ask nothing further. Let's start with treating the wounded and get to where Sienna is. There you are, you're back, and these people are Carmine soldiers. Now, on earth, please come with me. Then runs up to soldiers, hurries to treat their injuries. What happened when Carmine's forces lit the signal fire? I thought they were under attack from the Royal Guard. On arrival, I saw much worse. I didn't see this machine they spoke of, but do you and Lilith know of it? Yes, we were about to broach the very subject, as it were. Bryn tells Mirror about facing down Ranaheim. The Carmine forces were attacked by a demonic weapon of Aweka. Indeed, as for dragging Lilith and I off, it was to prevent us from aiding the Carmine forces. But why? What does Aweka get out of attacking them? Your guess is as good as mine. It's bad enough that we have to deal with a false goddess army. Now this. Our enemies continue out in numbers. Will my irritation never cease? My, this act unfurls with a flourish. You know what? Who knew that Aweka was so active? I delight in seeing everyone's dedication. Ah, but it's also why this new era must be celebrated with new mayhem. So I declare, in the name of an even greater chaos, I will showcase all I have prepared, one by one. Ha ha. Meanwhile, somewhere on Mount Celsina, a Carmine soldier barely clinging to life as he staggered through the blood-soaked battlefield. Rumble waves ripped through the blood of the soldiers at every step. Most unusual phenomena. How did so much blood pool everywhere in spite of the mountain sloped ridge? Soldier plodded along in the hope of escaping these rivers of red, but his efforts mattered not, as his ankles were deep in it wherever he went. How strange. Blood that's been lapping at his ankles was quick to rise to his knees. How could it be he was closer to its source? This wasn't right. The monstrous machine stopped moving, so shouldn't the bloodbath be over? Everyone is dead. Where's all the blood coming from? Wasn't any doubt. The blood was rising, first to his ankles, then to his knees, now to his waist. The more he pushed, the more it seemed the blood weighed heavier on him, greatly slowing his track. He was akin to a feeble insect caught in a spider's web. Soon all the soldier could do was suffer in place. Damn it to hell. The soldier, exhausted, stood still to survey his surroundings. He could make no sense of it. Everything was gone, the many, many bodies of his slain comrades. Lord Carmine, who was who has been split in two by that terrifying machine. And where had they all gone? Where did they all go? Where? They have already been fed on and sucked dry. Very brotherly, two arms shot forth from the blood-swamped depths and clutched the shoulder by the shoulders. Seconds later, with a comparatively slow reveal, a woman's face took form upon the surface. Ah! The soldier's scream was barely elicited before he was dragged below. And he was submerged, consumed, blood, flesh, and soul. Not long after that, Brez rose from the red. Ah, even with a blood ritual, the skull, all I found were scraps. I suppose this festival will have to do. Good thing about power is that it can always be restored. I do, of course, think it is a bore to start over again because of that awful seal. Whatever, your plan was flawless, Talia. No wonder you're known for Rebecca's tactician. Even I hadn't thought of using a blood ritual to be reborn in paradise, and I'm the blood mistress. And now it's my time to shine. I hope you're watching, Balor. Rest easy knowing our revenge has already begun. I, Brez, as the spearhead of the Paradise Lost, will put a stop to Naughta's plans and open the attack route to Paradise. Extra episode, Spearhead of Paradise Lost, has been completed.